Well, good morning, guys. We are out here and it is going to be hot. Heat index is in the triple digits, I believe, but it's Monday, so hopefully the lake won't be too crowded. I'm going to start off with a little bit of main lake. We'll also fish very shallow too at some point today, and then I'll probably fish in between in and around some brush. We'll kind of just see what seems to be working better, and I'll probably try and hone in on that. Obviously we're going to go for a limit of fish. We'll just set it at like 14 pounds today, and hoping we can eclipse that. Looking for some big bites. It's been harder to get some big bites, but maybe we can catch one over 5 pounds today. That would be the goal. Speaking of the heat though, you've probably seen me wear these shirts a lot if you watched the channel over the years. AFTCO, they started to support the channel a little bit and send me some stuff, some shirts and things of that nature. And I've got a link here at the bottom of the video if you're interested in buying any of these type of shirts. I'm not trying to sell anything, because I just truly believe in AFTCO. I've been wearing them for years if you've watched the channel. I wear the hooded version here, like this. Really comfortable when it's very hot like this. The shirts are breathable. They're actually cooler to wear on extremely warm days like this, and they aren't like real tight in your arms or anything like that. You seem like you've got a lot of room to move around. It's very comfortable. So figured if you want to look into buying some of them, they run some sales sometimes. You can get them at a pretty decent price. So if you're interested in that and you follow that link, that will help the channel out. Would appreciate that. But water temps are in the 80s. They are still running some current. I'm hoping the main lake bites a little bit better. I can tell just from getting down here right now, at least in my cove, that the water clarity is not as good. It's got more of a tint to it, which usually happens when you start running all the current through the lake. So we're gonna hit up some main lake spots. First thing, I've got crankbait. I've got a mag draft on. I don't throw that a whole lot. Big swim baits, I'm gonna try that. Shaky head, curly tail worm, brush hog, and football jig, of course. Can't forget that. That's what I'll throw primarily. When I get to the shallower docks, I'll probably be using a shaky head, a skipping jig, and a brush hog will probably be the main 3 players there. And we're gonna start early though on this main lake stuff and just see what happens. We got a nice little breeze. It should be a beautiful day to fish, at least. Like I said, with a little bit lower boat traffic, and hopefully we can catch a lot of fish and put some good ones in the boat. So let's see what we get into. There's one. Let's see what he is. He's a white bass or a largemouth. So let's see. He is a largemouth. I think he's short. Yep. See you later, fella. On the 6XD. Thought I had a bite earlier. Seemed like one nipped it. I had it for just a second and it got off, but that fish certainly didn't have it very well. He barely had one hook in the side of his mouth. There he is. He doesn't seem real big though. Right on that drop off. He is a keeper spot. Look at that. I will give you a little over a pound. See you later, fella. And you bit all my pinchers off. I'll take that though. I'll let a fish bite my pinchers off every time. It's a fair trade. I've got a bit of a Franken jig going on here. I got the brown with the green tinsel, which know me, I throw that a lot, especially in the summertime. And I'm throwing a peanut butter jelly rage crawl. Here she is. Little peanut butter, little jelly. Mostly because I love peanut butter jellies. And second, because I love the rage crawl. It's my favorite style of crawl. This type of trailer in the summertime just displaces a lot of water, has a lot of movement. And I ran out of green pumpkin, but I don't think the fish really care. The last time I threw this, first cast with it, I caught like a 4.5 pounder. So we're gonna keep on throwing it. Caught a couple fish on it. See if we can get some bigger ones. think when it's deep enough water, especially now with the water being a little bit dingier, color doesn't play as much of an important role. It's mostly just the profile of it all. Now, if the water gets really dirty, then color kind of comes into play. Not necessarily the actual color, but just being dark and having contrast so that they can find it a little easier. That's my take on it. I know some people really like color, and sometimes it seems like it maybe does matter a little, but I'd say most of the time it does not. There's one little guy off that bluff wall though. Got him on a worm if I get him in the boat. He bit almost immediately. Might be a little keeper actually. Oh, he's better than I thought. He's a small keeper. On the old Tequila Sunrise. Little 2-pound keeper. See you later, fella. Right on the bluff wall. Just letting that thing fall. Bunch of little ledges on all these bluffs. Wind's hitting it. Shade. Why wouldn't there be a fish up here? I mean, really. It's current. Plenty of bait. Throw a jig on this a lot, but I found that throwing a jig, you just end up getting hung up a lot more. It seems like it gets really in those cracks, crevices, or a Texas rig without a pegged weight. That's the most important part. Oh, there's one. Seems to just fall a lot better around here and not get stuck. I mean, these walls are jagged. There's a little guy. Well, he might be a keeper too. He's bigger than I thought, I guess. Okay, keeper number 3, blind burner. Little guy. Got him swimming it up there. Figure there's so much wind blowing. Up in them shallow, shady areas. See some fish. I know if I just throw this jig up there, I'll lose it. So if I swim it, I won't lose it. There he is. I think he's a shorty though. See you later. See if there's any more in there. There he is. He might be a decent one too. At least the better of the day. Take him. He ain't probably super net worthy, but I already was going for it because I thought he was bigger. And he was hooked decent. I don't think he's going anywhere. That's keeper number 4 though. Another one on a brush hog. That's keeper number 4, little guy. A little over 2 pounds. See you later. See if we can get number 5. Little brush hog's hurting here. Today I'm throwing, I don't know if you can see in the sun, you should be able to, green pumpkin with a little green flake. I normally just throw green pumpkin, but I figured, hey, I got the green flake in boat here. Let's try it out. It's a good color. Seems to imitate bluegill well with that green. Maybe something I add to the arsenal here, but not this year. You know the rules. No buying tackle this year. Just Gotta use what's in the boat. See if we can get some more life out of this guy. Oh, there he is. As soon as it hit the bottom, he had it. Just had to make sure. Make sure he had it. He'll be keeper number 5, I think. Oh, I don't know. You're getting smaller. Nope, you're a touch short. See you later, fella. There he is. I was like, man, that sure felt like one. I think I had another fish before that and I just let him go. Now you are a keeper. But not by much. I think there's a whole bunch of you up there, all the same size almost. The last one wasn't very short. You're right at it. So that's the final keeper. Thanks for playing. There he is. Might be a decent one too, maybe. Stay down. Can't tell. Seems like it's fat. At least it's got some muscle. Oh yeah. Take ya. Nothing super huge, but solid keeper. I'll get rid of the 1-pounder for a 2-pounder. Just shy of 2.5. That gets rid of the 1-pounder. See you later. Shade right where you're supposed to be there. Yep, that's another keeper. Shoot, there's one. Swimming it. Swimming it up, he ate it. I think he's a short. See you later, fella. One-tailed, one-clawed rage tail here. It's about to really lose the other one, so I'll pitch it a little bit more here. There he is. Another little solid keeper. See you later, fella. Thanks for playing. Waving back. Alright, we're going to try a Berkeley Dredger. This is a 25.5, which these are nice because they go deeper, but the profile is still about the same as a 6XD. Try a little chartreuse with some blue in it. There's plenty of fish on this point. I just haven't had any luck throwing a jig or anything to them. I don't want to waste too much time, so I'm just going to fire this around. There's another one. I get you, buddy. Before you hooked in the gill. Maybe a small keeper on a 6XD, but nothing bigger than what I've had already. I'm sorry, on a Berkeley Dredger, not a 6XD. Something. It'll maybe help. As long as you don't take my jig, mister. First little keeper back here. Well, he's real close. I bet he's 15. Skinny though. way back shallow. He shredded my line though. I was flipped over that cable versus getting too close. Oh shoot. I don't know how big that one was. There he is. Well, he's not very big. He's wrapped up on something. See you later, fella. And he absolutely destroyed my trailer. Catching some, but they are just not the size I want them to be back here. There's one. Oh, that might be decent. Did not get a good hook in him though. Terrible hook set. Got him. Yeah. Perfect. There's a 4-pounder. Look at that. Hook fell right out. I did not have a good hook set. I was kind of reeling it up. Alright, there's a 4-pounder. Nice and healthy, back she goes. Caught her on a jig, just kind of swimming in and out under a nice shady spot of a dock. Never mind my sleeves, look like I have poop on them. Got stuck in a brush pile. I must have got stuck in the rope or something that the person sunk the pile with. And I tried to get my jig out. Didn't get it, breaking branches. That's what's all over my sleeve. But here's the jig I've been throwing. This little 3/8 ounce skip style jig that I tie. I've had a little Z-crawl on there. This time I've got a watermelon candy because I ran out of green pumpkin. Things are working in my favor here. But it's got, I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera. See, it's almost got 2 tones to it. This is a magic swirl or magic crawl type color, so it's like a green pumpkin blue. And then I tied in a little bit of regular green pumpkin, just a hint of black with some red flake, and then 2 little strands of chartreuse on the back. I've been skipping that around in here. Seems to be working well, catching a lot of fish, a lot of numbers. That was the first big fish on it. I think we just got to get it in the right areas and come across some more big fish. So let's see if we can come across another 4-pounder or a 5-pounder. It'll really help our bag out. There he is. Gotcha, buddy. You choked that. See you later, fella. Keeper, he's a little chunker. Okay, I'm gonna call that a day. Overall, a lot of fun. Caught a lot of keepers. I think I had, over 10 keepers, which was fun. Probably 20-ish fish somewhere in there. And I think here it's been 6.5 hours or so, 7 hours maybe. So fun day for the heat. It was very hot. I'm running out of water. I need to go swimming, so I think I'm gonna call it quits for fishing for now. But we had one good bite, 4-pounder, and then some 2-pounders and a variation of 1-pounders. I think best 5 would have been right around 12 pounds, which really just lacking one more decent fish or get into a decent spot. It's at least got some like 2.5-pounders or 3-pounders. you can move up pretty quick. But I caught a lot of fish main lake, had a lot of fun on the main lake, whether it was actual point or move it inside just a little bit on some brush or even on some docks. Pitching a football jig was probably the #1 thing consistency wise. The worm was good in and around brush, and so was the brush hog. I threw the brush hog in some piles and immediately was getting bit with that. So that was good on the deeper piles and stuff. Then I fished very shallow, and I pretty much threw the jig. I threw the brush hog very little, almost exclusively the jig, and caught a fair amount of fish doing that as well. And that's where the big one came off of, just a little 3/8 ounce jig, skipping around. I was pretty much looking for, I really wanted to be like 5 feet or less, but I ended up kind of running out a little bit further on the deeper sides of some docks. So it ended up being around 8 feet or less was kind of the zone I was targeting. The bigger fish came off the front, the deeper side of the dock, but the majority of my fish came off of the back side of the dock, the shallower end, just in the, the deepest, darkest shade I could find on that dock, and skipping that jig in there. I never really ran too much in between brush today. I think I might run a little bit tomorrow. I kind of just got caught up fishing main lake and then going to the shallow end. I didn't really stop too much in between. I did like 2 or 3 spots, and there was a couple fish there, but I didn't have any bites right away on it. Overall though, very fun day. Fishing seems to be good this year. It seems to be set up right. I don't know if it's just the current that's making everything seem like a normal year again or what, but it seems to be better for me this year than it was last year for sure, during the summertime. Now it's time for me to go swim and cool off a little bit and clean this boat up. My boat is in bad shape. It needs to be cleaned so bad. Just inside I've got trash everywhere, baits. Oh, it's horrible. So good luck to you if you get out, and we'll see you on the next one.